There are 4 components of effective curriculum from a UDL perspective. The 4 components are goals, assessments, methods, and materials. An effective curriculum must have the learner at the center, surrounded by supports which facilitates the variability and diversity of all learners. Goals should be separated from the central purpose of the standard and then restated in a way that is attainable for all students. We also need to determine which network set is the most relevant to the goal. The more challenging the situation, the more resources the learner will need in order to complete a task. So it's important to determine which network set is most relevant to understanding which part of the task should be flexible. We must also actively involve the learners so that they can establish their own personal connection between themselves, their learning goals, and the curriculum. This reduces anxiety, stress, and fear of accomplishing or attempting to complete the task. So here as an instructor, it may be beneficial for me to initially, before the lesson, have a discussion with my students and display all of the tools and the media resources that they have to help them learn in line with the goal of the lesson. So an orientation and showing them all of the options will empower them. It will give them confidence, and it will actually increase the trust that they have within the materials that they chose to learn with throughout the lesson. Assessments from a UDL perspective include: they are ongoing and they're focused on learner progress. Assessments will provide a comprehensive picture of what the students have learned and their evolution of learning over time. There's not just one way to assess a student's progress. It could be project-based, portfolio-based, so that you can see some sort of documentation of their improvement over the time of the term. Normally, to see a snapshot as to where my students are in the lesson in learning the digestive system, I usually give a voice narrative of me eating a food, a piece of candy, and that voice narration just talks about me eating the food, and the children, they usually point and click with the mouse to highlight the areas that the food is moving down the digestive tract, and that snapshot just helps me to see if they are retaining the information as we're learning the digestive system. Assessments should also measure product and process. It should measure what the students learn, how they learn it, the strategies that were used to learn new concepts. It should observe over time and measure what caused their change in learning. It should also measure and observe what motivates the students. And assessments are also flexible, never fixed. They shouldn't offer only one means to express what the learners know. So back to the digestive system lesson for assessments. We had several summative assessments. The students were given options to model the digestive tract using Play-Doh. Another summative assessment was that many kids wanted to draw the digestive tract. So we used the white t-shirt method, where they used the buddy put on the white t-shirt, and the student was able to draw the digestive tract directly on the body of another student. Some students also preferred oral presentations. They wanted to stand up and actually physically point out and say all the parts verbally. We also had students that wanted to do a slideshow presentation where they collected a series of photos and they put together a collage of the digestive tract. So there were several options to demonstrate their knowledge of that digestive system. So customizing the assessments to the students' interest and their background, it heightened the students' engagement, and it overall increased their performance on learning the digestive system. A good UDL method is to embed just-in-time support that will help the students to think and organize and assimilate information so that they can work through the problem with the proper support. Many methods, not just one, it helps the students to have options available in order to meet those diverse needs of all learners.